Hi, welcome to another episode of Bill Selak Talks. My name is Bill Selak. This is me talking. So, if you are a tech director, a friend of technology, educational technology, something, and you're on some sort of leadership team that does like the check-in thing, I have such a fun idea for you. Are you ready for this? That's all this idea is going to be about. You'll see where we end up. So, depending on how often you get to suggest topics for the check-in will depend on which of these questions you ask. So, the idea of like the check-in is to like kind of get in the zone of, okay, we're now in this meeting, we're in this space, but also, kind of we have to work together, and if we get to know each other, we tend to work better together. We all know the check-in, and you're going to have a strong opinion likely on the check-in. I tend to actually like them myself. But I wonder let's see if you can start to pick a theme of questions you might have. We're going to play the long game here. And the title of this podcast episode likely gave this away. As you think about questions you might ask, and then a discussion you might have with this team at like a closing retreat, at a closing meeting, at a final meeting, whatever it is. Right. So like a pretty chill one would be like, tell me about the first concert you attended. And everybody has like, 1 minute to share their first concert. And all the while you're being like a diligent colleague and you're taking notes of each person and the first concert they attended. Like another kind of fun one, kind of memory lane is like, what was your childhood nickname, your favorite teacher, your favorite elementary teacher? Oh, we all work in a school. Like, tell me your favorite elementary teacher. And just kind of all this kind of stuff. Like, did you grow up where your parents met? Where did your parents meet? And then someone will share a little bit, a little story there. Were you born near where you grew up? Where did you grow up? Tell me a memory you have about playing on the street you grew up. And all the while you're taking notes of people, not in a malicious way. Keep these private for sure. And as we go through, tell me about pets. What's the first pet you remember having? Oh, yeah. Do you still remember your childhood best friend's phone number? And everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh. Not everybody. If you are older than a millennial, you'd be like, yeah, I sure do. And I am raising my hand. I remember my best friend's phone number still. Would struggle to remember other people's numbers in my family. And after all of this, we've done 10 months of check-ins, including, some summer work together. The last time we meet, you're like, all right, it is time for a lesson on phishing. And they're like, okay, cool. Like, we're pros. And you're like, all right. So Matt, I see that your first pet was named Gertrude. Your childhood best friend was named Ryan. You were born in Venice Beach. Your first car. Oh, yeah. Yep, that was a 1984 Toyota Camry. Your favorite movie? Ah, yes. I also love that. And you don't need to actually do this step, although it would for sure be over the top. Go into probably not their banking, but maybe their... We'd have to think about this one. Maybe you can share with me some ideas of this. Probably not like a Google account, but maybe like a personal Google account. Their Google account. And you're like, forgot my password. And they're like, cool. Let's reset that password. Here are 2 security questions. And then, if you've done this in a chill enough way, everyone's jaws in the room are going to collectively just drop and be like, dude, do you have all of our security questions? And did we just totally give all of our security questions to everybody in this room? Yes. Yes is the answer. And then you maybe have a conversation about how we might be safer with security related materials. Because I think a lot of when we think about phishing, and this is not like a topic about phishing in particular. This is like semi-silly, but actually like I would love for someone to actually try this with a group over this coming school year. and be like, dude, Bill, it is mid-June. We just had our closing meeting, and yeah, that phishing lesson. Wow, did that hit home for people? So much it's like, oh, I got like this like weird email with lots of typos that was asking for financial information. That was, your login password. We tend to talk about these kind of things, but I feel like security questions, particularly around kind of the cultures that schools create, get kind of glossed over and could be something. This could be like a fun and poignant way to have people think a bit more about that. So as you're moving into two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication at your school, if you've not done that yet, you'll be doing that likely in the next year. These are kind of conversations that are going to come up, and instead of just being like, let me click through slides and read the slides for you on how to keep you safe and not take the bait. Did you see that opening slide? It said, gone fishing, but with a PH. And I just said, how not to take the bait. Do you get it? This might be I don't know. I think poignant is the right word. Interesting way to go. Someone please consider doing this, or if this is just a very, very bad idea, let me know that too. But yeah, I also wonder what this might look like with students. I've not wrapped my head around that one. Maybe in like a morning advisory, doing kind of a check-in at the end of the week. You're like, all right, let's talk about phishing. They're like, no idea what that means. You're like, cool. You just gave a whole bunch of personal information to me. And just to have people be kind of more mindful of that. So anyway, that's the idea. That is the riff for today. Maybe I'm going to call this fish and chips. I like the idea of that better than gone fishing. Gone fishing is like the monotone slides that you would read and click through. Are you clicking through slides in a boring way? Yes, as am I. But yeah, fish and chips, looking at phishing scams and looking at those security questions. All right. I think this might be a fun lesson. Let me know if you're going to do that. That's what I got for you this week. Thanks for listening. My name is Bill Selak. This has been me talking.